Welcome to our community class at the Fayetteville Public Library. I've met most of you before in the room. My name is Lori. I'm here about once a month to teach along with the rest of the volunteer teachers. I have a theme for tonight's class, and it's it is a theme of contentment. I don't know if you guys are from Fayetteville or spend any time on the east side of town, but there is a cell phone tower that is by the fire station on Crossover and Old Wire that has like fake tree limbs hanging out of it. And it always makes me think about how, as humans, we often carry around all these fake tree limbs so that we look like something else or try to be something else. And when we can be content with the cell phone tower that we may be, we can leave the tree limbs everywhere else and just be the cell phone tower and stand up tall and do our purpose, not try to be a tree or blend in with the rest of the world. So that's where I am going with tonight for our theme. I have a quote to start us with, but I'd like to get us settled into a spot on our backs. So if you'll come onto your backs, you can take a comfortable resting position. That can be the legs straight out, or if you want to bend the knees and let the knees fall in on each other, you can rest there as well. My quote comes from Lao Tzu: because one believes in oneself, one does not try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one does not need others' approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts him or her. When we think of contentment, or santosha is the Sanskrit word for the niyama that we're discussing, it doesn't mean to idly sit back or relinquish the need to do anything. It can mean simply accepting and appreciate what we have and what we are already and moving forwards from there. And how can we practice this in daily life? You can get rid of any assumptions, focusing on good things, which takes discipline, and letting go of what can't be controlled, which can often take a lot of humility to humble ourselves to things that are not within our control. So if you take this thought into mind during your practice, where can you find contentment on your mat? There'll be lots of options in tonight's class for different movements. I like to think of it as a choose your own adventure yoga. Find the practice that you can be content with, that leaves you fulfilled. Whatever the option is, whatever I say does not have to be done. You can take your own path to find that sense of peace in your practice, and maybe you can find contentment here so that you can work on finding happiness another area of your life. With the eyes resting open or closed, find a soft gaze if they're open. The palms can be down on the mat or facing up. Another option would be to place them on the body somewhere to connect more inwardly to yourself. Let the breath be long. As you exhale, let it be full but not forced. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths, settling in. On the next inhale, reach the hands up overhead, stretch the legs out long if the knees are bent. Take a full body stretch, and as you exhale, draw the knees into the chest, draw the hands around the knees, give yourself a hug, take a squeeze. You can rock side to side, back and forth. We're going to start some movement here on our backs. Coming to settling on the spine. On the next inhale, we'll stretch the arms out, stretch the legs out. If you stretch them out straight, you can relax them on the mat. If you'd rather keep the knees bent and just bring the toes to the mat, feel free to do that as well. As you inhale, we're lengthening. Exhale, draw the knees back into the chest, wrap the arms around the knees. A little more work would be to lift the shoulders off the mat, chin lifting up. Inhale, reach back out. Arms above the head. Legs can be stretched out long or knees bent. Exhale, draw the knees in. Lift the heart if available. 2 more with your breath. Inhale, lengthening out. Stretching long through the feet, long through the fingers. Exhale, draw everything in. 1 more time to lengthen. The next time you exhale, draw everything in. We'll rock forward and back on the spine, working our way over onto hands and knees. So at some point, cross the ankles, sit up on the seat, plant the hands, and we'll make adjustments onto the mat so that you're about the center of your mat. With the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, moving through cat and cow, lift the heart, let the shoulder blades come together on the back, and as you exhale, round the spine, lift from the back of the heart. Point the tailbone down. Move with your breath. Inhaling, the collarbone broadens as the shoulder blades draw together. Exhale, round through the spine. Chin points towards the heart. Tail points towards the floor. Your tailbone. We don't have tails necessarily. Keep moving with your breath. 2 more rounds. You can find any organic movement here as well if you'd like to sit back to the heels and move through child's pose, and as you round up, come back to hands and knees. That might feel nice. Another option would be just to sway shoulder to hip, side to side, stretching out the side bodies. Again, what feels great to you to make you content on the mat this evening. On the next inhale, we're going to send the hands forward. Shift the shoulders forward so that we come to a modified plank position, top of a push-up. Press into the hands, arms squeeze towards one another. From here, we're going to lower the heart, coming all the way down onto the mat. Plant all 10 toes. Shoulders draw up and back as you lift the heart for low cobra. Release the forehead back to the mat. Press up and back, find child's pose. This can be an option for your vinyasa or flow. Moving through plank or modified plank. On the inhale, exhale lowers the heart. Inhale lifts the heart. And the exhale puts you back into child's pose. Move through 3 more rounds of that. Moving with your breath. If this is not what you're feeling today and you'd rather not take the back bends, lifting the heart from your belly, just move in and out of modified plank to child's pose. You can always be here. Hold for a breath, and then sit back and skip the back bends altogether. 2 more rounds wherever you are. Keep moving with your breath. Decide what feels good in your body. The next time you find yourself in child's pose, pause for 3 breaths. Let the hips sink onto the heels. You can continue to reach the hands out in front, or maybe take them to the heels so that the shoulders round down. From your next inhale, reaching the hands back forward, we're going to take a side stretch from child's pose. Coming up onto the fingertips, look forward at the hands. Draw the heart forward. As you exhale, walk the hands towards the left. You want to reach with the right hand Get long on the right side as you press back through the right sit bone. Relax the head and neck. You have the option to stay here, or you can take the left hand behind the low back as you drop the right shoulder towards the mat and maybe look up towards the ceiling, finding a twist as well as a side bend. Reaching both hands back towards the front of the mat, walk the hands through center on the inhale. Lengthen the spine once more, drawing the heart forward. Exhale, take it to the right. Press down through the left sit bone. Reach with the left hand. Get nice and long on the left side, lifting the ribs away from the hip. Again, option to stay here or take the right hand around the low back. Let the left shoulder dip towards the floor, finding a twist. Next, inhale, reach both hands back forward, walk back towards the middle, plant the hands as we come up to hands and knees. Toes will tuck, lift the tailbone up and back, find downward facing dog. We want to spread the fingers wide, making contact with the index knuckle and the mat. Engage the muscles from the palms of the hand all the way to the heart. Get strong in the upper back. Relax the head and neck. From the heart to the hands, lengthen the arms like you feel the bones getting longer, and then lift the sit bones high away from the heart to relax the heels towards the mat. 2 more breaths here. On the next inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. We're going to either tiptoe to the hands, take a giant step, or if you're feeling froggy, hop to the front of the mat for a forward fold. You can shake the head yes or no. Work out any tension in the neck. Breathe into those spaces of tension. On an inhale, bring the hands to the shins, lift halfway, draw the crown of the head forward. As you exhale, belly reaches towards the thighs, heart reaches towards the toes, forward fold. Inhale, press back through the hips as you rise all the way to standing. Reach the arms up and overhead. You can look up if it's available on the neck. Hands come to the heart on the exhale or to the side, finding a mountain pose. Your feet will be about hip distance apart. You want to act as though you're going to rip the mat apart. So engage all 4 corners of the feet and take like the feet are going to move out towards the edges of the mat. Point the tailbone towards the heels. Draw the shoulders up and back, but let the ribs draw in to keep control of the trunk. 1 more breath here in your active mountain pose. Moving through half sun salutations, your next inhale will reach the hands up. You can look up if that's available. Exhale, send the hips back, heart forward, forward fold. Halfway lifting on the inhale, draw the crown of the head forward. Exhale, folds back in. Press down to rise up, reach up, get long, look up. Hands to heart or the side. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale reaches up. Exhale finds your fold. Halfway lift and refold. Press down to rise to standing. Hands to the heart or the side. 1 more round before we add on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, heart forward. Halfway lift. And then bow. Reach up. Lengthen the side bodies. Hands to the heart. Keep moving. We'll add on from here. On your inhale, you halfway lift. The next exhale, we'll fold, plant the hands, step back with the right foot. Coming up onto the fingertips, the right knee will drop to the mat. Lengthen the heart forward so you gather the shoulder blades on the back. And from there, you can leave the hands on the floor. You can bring the hands to the top of the thigh. We want the left knee above the left ankle. Your options here could be to sit back in the hips and then clench the glute so that you have a nice stretch on the right quad. If you're looking for more hip flexor, bend into the front knee. Let the hips sink, and it'll carry that stretch up towards the top of the hip. Your hands can remain on the knee or on the floor. You can bring them to the heart or reach the hands up. Wherever you are, breathe. Take a moment to settle in. Find fulfillment right here in this moment. It's often that we sit still that we can find contentment rather than rushing through things. We tend to miss it and keep striving for more. Hands come down. Take the right knee off the mat. Step the left foot to meet the right. Press up and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Pressing into the hands. Lengthening from the heart in all directions. On your next inhale, we'll take the right foot between the hands. The back knee drops. Set up where you'd like to be. We want to do the same that we did on the opposite side. Either come up with the left knee directly over, the left hip directly over the knee. Squeeze in on the glute so that you feel the quad open up. Or squeegee the front foot forward so that you can sink into the hips. Decide your hand placement that feels best. Keep pressing down into the front foot and act as though you're going to drag it back. Find your moment of peace and breathe. As you exhale, the hands will come down to surround the front foot. Tuck the back toes. Step right foot to left. Downward facing dog. We're going to be here for 5 breaths, which would offer you enough time to take any kind of vinyasa. That can be moving into plank, lowering to the belly for a back bend. Could also mean moving into hands and knees, sitting back in child's pose, and taking rest. What feels good to you? What practice will bring you some sort of gratification this evening? On your next inhale, we're going to take the left foot between the hands, finding high crescent lunge. You always have the option to take the right knee to the mat and stay where we were with the Anjaneyasana. You can take it one step further, right knee lifted, collarbone broadening forward. From there, lift the hips like you're going to press them back. Engage the legs. Slowly bring the hands to the hips. You can bring the hands to the heart. You can reach the hands all the way up. Think about lifting the back thigh. Get strong on the back leg as you simultaneously act as though you're going to pull the left leg back towards the right. From here, we'll take a twist. You can bring the hands to the heart or leave the arms extended. We're going to twist towards the left side. Reaching left hand backward, right hand forward. If the hands are at the heart, press in on both hands and act as though you're reaching through your elbows. On your next exhale, right hand will come to the mat. Continue the twist. Left hand can come to the thigh. Press into the thigh so that you can turn the torso more towards the left. Left hand stays here or reaches up. As you exhale, bring both hands inside the left foot. Drop the right heel so that the right heel is on the mat. From here, we want to walk the hands out towards the right. Press down like downward facing dog arms. Press hips back. If you are in the lower lunge, you'll want to turn your right heel towards the long edge of the mat behind you so that you can take the same position with that lunge movement. Next inhale, walks the hands back to center. Turn the toes so that they face the long edge of the mat. Walk the hands to the middle of the mat for a wide leg forward fold. Relax the head and neck. Lift the sit bones high as the heart reaches for the floor. You can leave the hands below the head. You can walk them between the legs. You can bring them to the ankles or towards the calves or feet. On your next inhale, pivot towards the front of the mat, coming back to the left toes facing front, right toes facing the front with the heel off the mat. Left foot meets the right. Decide if you want to move, if you want to rest. Wherever you land, if you're in downward facing dog or child's pose, pause. If you're choosing movement, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. On the next inhale, we'll step the right foot between the hands. Set it up where the legs are pulling towards one another, engaged, hips maybe lifting, pulling back. Reach up, find your high crescent lunge. Hands can be lifted high. They could be at the heart or the hips. Breathe. Settle the feet. Engage from the feet to the belly button. And then from there, we'll take a twist. Take the right hand back, left hand forward. Maybe the palms are pressing together at the heart so that the elbows are pressing away from each other. Lift the back thigh. Next, exhale, left hand is going to meet the mat. Right hand comes to the thigh for leverage so that you can press into the thigh, lift the belly, turn the heart up. Option to take the right hand up. Next, exhale, we're taking the hands inside the right foot. Draw the left heel down. If the left knee is already down, bring the left foot behind you. Walk the hands to the left. Downward facing dog, lunge here. Press into the hands and the heart towards the thighs. Thighs reach up and back. And breathe. On the inhale, we're going to walk towards the middle of our mat. Find that wide leg forward fold once again. Hands come beneath the face. Halfway lift, draw the crown of the head forward. Hips draw back. From here, we'll take a twist. Your right hand will stay in front of the face. Left hand comes to the left hip. Turn the belly, heart up. Left hand comes to the small of the back maybe, or you can reach it up towards the sky. Another option here would be to invite the right hip into the twist. So maybe it lowers just a bit so that you can open more in the torso. If that does not feel good on the inner thigh of the right leg, bring the hips back to center. exhale, slowly release. Bringing the left hand beneath the face, halfway lift. Draw the right hand to the hip. Turn the chest and heart towards the right. Maybe take the left hip with you as the right arm reaches up. Again, settle in. Find that sense of ease, even when you may be feeling a bit of discomfort. That's often where we grow. As you exhale, slowly release. We'll walk the hands back, surround the front foot, plant the hands, step right foot to meet the left. Either take a vinyasa or move into a asana of rest or stillness. 4 breaths wherever you land. If everyone will come down to hands and knees, we're going to swing the feet out in front, finding a quick twist break. Leaving the left leg extended, we'll cross the right leg over the left. You can continue to leave the left leg extended if you like the rendition where the foot is to the right heel. You want to make sure both sit bones meet the mat. If you can sit here comfortably, you're welcome to stay here. Bringing the right hand behind you. We're going to lift the left arm and lean back so that we can really get some opening in the front of the body. And as you exhale, either bring the tricep to the thigh of the right leg or hug the right leg. Lengthen through the extended foot if your left leg is straight. You want to take the right shoulder back. The gaze can be over any shoulder, whatever is most comfortable for your neck. On an inhale, press into the right hand, sit up a little taller, and as you exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper through the ribs, through the shoulders, maybe the neck. As you exhale, slowly release. We'll uncross and recross. You can shake out the legs in between. Left leg over the right. Decide if the right leg will stay extended or bring it to the hip. I suggest if you brought it to the hip on one side, you even yourself out for the other side. Left fingertips come behind, lift the heart. Right arm lifts up as you lean back, create some space, and then take the right tricep to the thigh or hug onto that knee as you look back over the left shoulder or the front shoulder. We just want to draw that left shoulder back. On an inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up taller. Exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. Slowly coming out. Uncross the legs. Shake it out. We'll make our way back over onto hands and knees to downward facing dog. Settle into your dog. Press down through the palms as you engage the arms. Lengthen all parts away from the heart. Back to the floor. We're going to step between the hands with the left leg. Finding high crescent lunge once again. Inhale, reaches up. Get long in the spine. As you exhale, we're going to take the hands back down. Bump the right leg back or towards the front so that the heel can come down on the mat. We're moving towards pyramid, so if you need to start with the hands on the shins, lengthen halfway, draw the crown of the head forward, and as you exhale, draw the belly down. Bring the hands wherever they will reach. Relax the head and neck. Getting into the front, the left hamstring here. Pull back on the left hip. You have the option to stay right here, or if you'd like to take a twist, the right hand will remain on the mat. Left hand comes to the left hip. Turn the torso towards the left leg as you reach the left hand up, or maybe just leave the left hand on the low back. What's most comfortable on your shoulder? Releasing out of the twist. We're going to bend into the front knee, plant both hands. Wriggle the right foot back so that the left foot can step back to meet it. You can step back to plank. You can move through any vinyasa that feels great, or take downward facing dog or child's pose. Stepping the right foot between the hands, moving through high crescent lunge. Help the foot if it needs help. Getting there. Inhale, reaches up. Back leg is strong. As you exhale, hands come back down. Find your pyramid pose. Left foot comes in as the right leg straightens and the right hip presses back. Hands can come to the shins, halfway lift. Crown of the head reaches forward. And as you exhale, lower the belly towards the thigh, the chest and heart towards the right toes. Relax the head and neck. Option to twist here as well. Left hand will remain on the mat. Right hand can come to the right hip so that you can turn the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Maybe take the right arm up. Breathe. Next, inhale, slowly release out of the twist. Bend into the right knee as the left foot steps further back. Right foot meets the left. Optional movement to downward facing dog. Take what you need, leave the rest. On the inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, step or hop to your forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, press down to the feet to rise all the way to standing. Hands reach up, hands to the heart. Bringing the hands to the hips. We're going to move through a standing balance, some warrior 3 into high crescent lunge and back. So come to the tops of your mat. Ground down through the left foot. And we're going to step the right foot back to high crescent lunge. From here, the hands can stay at the hips. They can come to the heart. If you'd like a different form of flying, you have options to take the hands behind you or up. But wherever you are, lean the heart forward. You're at a 45-degree angle. Hips are pressing back. From here, press into the left foot so that you can lift off with the right. Extend the right leg behind you. Lift the heart. And then as the right foot lifts, let the heart act like a seesaw as it lowers. Keep one long line from the crown of the head to the right heel. And exhale, bend into the front knee, slowly step it back. Hands come to the mat, right foot meets the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, refold. Inhale, reach all the way to standing. Long spine, long arms, hands to the heart. One breath in your mountain pose. Reset, resettle. Find contentment. on your mat. Pressing down through the right foot. We're going to take the left foot behind us. High crescent lunge. From here, place the arms. Lean the heart forward. Maybe you take the arms behind you. Wherever they are, draw the armpits towards the ears and the shoulder blades towards one another on the back. So your heart is already lifting as you step forward into the right leg. Reach through the left foot. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Breathe. Bend into the right knee. Slowly step the left foot back. Find your high crescent lunge. Hands meet the mat. Left foot meets the right. Find your forward fold. Take the elbows in each hand. Rock side to side, back and forth. Bend the knees a little or a lot, depending on how you feel. We'll plant the hands on the mat or the shins, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend the knees, plant both hands. Find plank pose, optional vinyasa to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, we'll step the left foot between the hands. Reach up high, crescent lunge. Exhale, the heart comes forward as you step forward. Warrior 3. Exhale, this time the hands to the mat. Bend the left knee as much as you need to. Lift the right leg up high for a half standing split. Bend into the left knee, right foot steps all the way back. Plant both hands. Left foot meets the right. Option to move or find stillness. Which do you choose? Honor the place that you're at and choose honestly where you need to be. Your next inhale, the right foot steps between the hands. Arms sweep up for high crescent lunge. Exhale the heart forward as the left leg lifts. Warrior 3. Breathe here. Get long from left foot through the crown of the head. Bend into the right knee, but bring the hands down. Left foot lifts. Half standing split. Relax the face. Slowly bend into the right knee. Left foot plants behind you. Walk the fingers back. Right foot meets the left. Optional vinyasa. We'll meet in child's pose. Options in child's pose besides what we've done before with the hands reaching forward or towards the heels. Another option would be to take the hands forward, palms together with the up, and then bring the neck. Stretches out the triceps, the back of the arms. Two more breaths here. Whenever you're ready, bring the hands back forward. Coming up onto a modified hands and knees, we're going to move into puppy pose if that's available. The hips are directly over the knees. The hands will walk forward so that the heart can sink towards the floor. Forehead can rest on the mat, or if it doesn't reach the mat, find blocks or a stack of books to act as a block to bring the floor closer to you. This stretches out the shoulders and the front body, opens the heart. Shifting onto the forearms, you'll drop the forearms to the mat. Shift the weight forward so that the shoulders are over the wrists. Moving into Sphinx pose, we're going to lower the hips onto the mat. Armpits draw up towards the ears, so you'll feel a passive softening of the heart. And then draw the shoulder blades together. Your gaze can be down at the floor or straight ahead. Press into all 10 toes. Next, inhale. Press into the hands to lift the hips. We'll walk the hands back with the knees closer together. Find child's pose once more. The knees closer together offers more low back release. So this might feel nice after doing that Sphinx back bend. If it's extremely uncomfortable for you, you can take the knees wider apart. Again, it's what you want, what you need. Whenever you're ready, we'll come over onto our seats and set up for Janu Sirsasana. I suggest moving towards the right edge of your mat with the right leg straight so that the knee will still be on the mat. We're going to come up into a gate pose or side plank at some point, so we want to make sure our knee is protected and cushioned. The left foot is into the inner right thigh groin area. We want the left knee lined up with the left hip. Sit up tall, so you might take the hands beside the hips. Make any adjustments. The further back you scoot your hips, the more likely you are to fold easier when the femurs are rooted into the hip sockets. From here, we're going to take the heart towards the right leg. I think I called this your right leg, but that's not right. Take the heart towards the right leg. The right fingertips are out. Left hand reaches up. Get long on the left side, and then take the left hand anywhere it will reach on the outside of the right leg. So it might be the calf, might be the ankle. Some of you may be able to reach the outer edge of the right foot. With the right fingertips on the mat, press into the right hand so that you feel the right ribs push back and the left ribs push forward. So you have a nice twist in the torso. Belly draws down towards the thigh. Relax the head and neck. Keep pressing into the left knee so that it's pressing back or rooting down into the mat. Bringing the right hand inside the right leg. We're going to take the left shoulder, opening it up so that it acts as though it's pinning on the wall behind us. Left arm can reach up, lengthen on the left side, maybe reach for the right foot. You can also take the left hand around the low back if that's a better option for you to keep that left shoulder open. Take the gaze wherever it's comfortable. From here, we'll move into the gate pose or side plank. So you'll take the left arm up towards the sky and bring it back down by the left hip. Come up onto the left knee, plant the right foot. Right arm will reach up and over. As you exhale, we're going to sit the hips back down. Right toes face up as you come back into the side bend. Inhale moves you into gate pose. Plant the hand, lift the hips. Exhale, sits the seat down, takes you into side bend. Move with the breath. We'll move through one more on this side. The next time you inhale, come back to center. Straighten both legs. Shake it out. Rock between the knees. If you want to lean back and take a few windshield wipers to maneuver the hips, you're welcome to take that. And we'll set up for the other side. Your left leg is straight. The right foot is along the inner left thigh. Right knee coming out of the hip. Sit up tall. You might lift the hips and press them back to fold a little deeper. Left hand or right hand reaches up, extends, and then takes it to the outer edge of the left leg. Wherever it will reach, draw the belly down. Press into the left fingertips to draw the left ribs back as the right ribs come forward and twist a little deeper if that's available. Keep pressing down and back through the right knee and hip. Slowly undo the twist. Take the right hand inside, or the left hand inside the left leg. Turn the right shoulder up, open the heart. Right hand can reach up and over. Right hand can reach around the low back. You've almost got your toes over there. So close. You got yours. So close to grabbing those toes, which is the full expression of the pose. Very difficult to get to, but it is possible. As you inhale, slowly come up. Press the hands towards the left hand, right hand towards the back of the mat. Lift onto the right knee, left foot, long on the side body. Exhale, sit it back. Find your side stretch. See if the movement opens up some space to where you might actually grab the toes. One more with your breath. The next time you inhale, sit up, straightening both legs, shake it out. We'll make our way onto our backs. You can draw the knees into the chest, rock side to side, or circle the knees. Planting the left foot on the mat, we'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. Press the right knee away as you draw the left knee towards the left shoulder, taking the hands around the thigh, interlace the hands. The left leg can be bent. Maybe your hands come on top of the left shin. You can also straighten the left leg with the heel pressing towards the ceiling or the sky. Continue to draw the left knee in as much as your body needs or wants. Opening up the right hip. As you exhale, bring the left foot to the mat. We'll take a twist, and you can do so with a lot of options. You can take the legs just as they are, where the sole of the right foot comes to the left with the right knee facing up. You can cross the right knee all the way over, take both knees to the left, or you can uncross the legs completely as you take both knees to the left. Find what twist works best for you. If the right shoulder does not meet the mat, bring the right hand to the right hip so that the arm can relax. Take a gaze over the right shoulder if that's available on the neck. Continue to breathe into any spaces of tension. Whenever you're ready, slowly bring the legs back up to center. Uncross the right leg from the left if you haven't already. Plant the right leg. Bring the left ankle on top of the right knee as you draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Flex both feet. Decide how you want to hold on to the right leg, either around the back of the thigh with the leg bent or straight, or maybe the right knee is really bent with your hands on top of the shin. The more you draw the right knee in, the more you're going to feel stretch on the outer left hip. Bring the right foot back to the mat. Set up for your twist on this side. I suggest taking the same rendition you did on the first. Either the leg cross just as it is, cross it all the way over, or uncross completely and take the legs to the right. If the left shoulder does not meet the mat, bring the left hand to the left hip so that you can relax the left arm. Take the gaze where it's available on the neck. Slowly coming out of the twist. Uncross the left leg if it's not already. Plant the left foot beside the right, setting up for bridge pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Knees are pointing straight up. Hands can be beside the body with the palms facing down by the hips. You can also bend at the elbows so that you just have the upper arms pressing into the mat. Arch the low back, walk the shoulders underneath so that you're already creating a back bend. On the inhale, press down through the feet to lift the hips. Try not to squeeze the glutes, but press down instead through the arms and act as though you're going to drag the heels towards the rest of the body, activating the hamstrings. possibly activating the Charlie horse is what this does for mine. Keep breathing. Lift the chin away from the chest as the chest rises towards the chin. We want to anchor down through the back of the head and lengthen out through the knees. 2 more breaths here. Or if that's too much, feel free to release the hips and come back down. Whenever you're ready, bring the sit bones to the mat. You can let the shoulders unfurl as the low back may reach the mat. It's always nice to have a small arch in the back so that the hips settle in. Take the feet wide, the width of the mat. Leaving the right knee facing straight up, we're going to drop the left knee towards the midline so that you have like a half a windshield wiper. Bringing the left knee back to center, pointing it straight up. Take the right knee towards the middle. Feeling the inner thighs turn inward. Reaching the right knee back up. Finding Shavasana or your place of rest. It can be with the feet separated wide apart, the knees coming in on each other. On your backs, you can straighten the legs. You can come onto a side or even onto your belly. Find a place where you can relax and not fidget. Be content with what you did and where you are right now. As you settle into Shavasana, I have a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. She says, at some point, you have to let go and sit still and allow contentment to come to you. So in these next few moments, take that in. The mind wanders, return it to the breath. Begin to deepen the breath, letting the breath fill up the spaces in the body, creating any small movement or big movement that feels great to you to bring awareness back to the space, eventually making your way onto either side before pressing up to a comfortable seat. For those of you at home, if you'd like to remain in Shavasana, please remain there as long as you have time for. Resting down through the sit bones, lengthen the crown up towards the ceiling. On an inhale, take the hands up. Let the palms touch ceiling in the practice. And as you exhale, bring that feeling, that sense of contentment to the heart to carry with you this week. Take the chin to the chest with a bow of gratitude to yourself for practicing, and I thank you, as always, for showing up and being on your mat with me. Namaste.